Hey folks, Rob here, and today we're going to be doing a little something different. I'm out here, I got my chop saw set up, got my table saw set up, and what I'm going to attempt to do today is a little bit of experimenting. Alright, I went to Lowe's last night and I bought a bunch, well not a bunch, about 10 of these 1x4 by 8 pine furring strips. Now, I'm going to attempt to use these as baseboard and trim. But they got a rounded radius on it, which might be alright for the baseboard. But for trim, I'd rather have a crisp edge. And I want them straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run each of these through the table saw and take just a little bit off of each edge to get them trued up and squared up. And see what they look like. I don't know that this is the route I'll go. These boards are like $2 a piece, so it's cheaper than baseboard, but let's see what we can do with it. So and I don't know, the rounded top, I don't know, it's going to show behind the wall. I think a square edge would look better. So anyway, I've got it set up here, and I brought out the table saw, and I'm going to get our fence aligned here. And I'm just going to use the board as a kind of a guide as to how much I want to take off. So I just want to take just a fraction off, maybe an 1/8. So if we set that at, let's see, that's 3.5 right there. So I think that will take off just a hair. I'll set you up over here and we'll see what that looks like as we do it. I'm just going to run a test strip through here, or a test piece, see if we need to adjust. So we're set at 3.5. So that gave us a nice square edge. The board's got a bow, you know, this way, but I can pull that in. It's not that this stuff will pull in with the nail. I think I like that a lot better than the cut edge. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run I bought 10 of these. I'm going to run all 10 through. Then we'll take our, we'll bump our saw blade in maybe a quarter inch, 1/8 of an inch, something like that, and true up the other side. And then I may take the chop saw and square up both ends, so we got a good piece of trim. I'm gonna have to take a sander and sand off some of the writing because it's rough on one side and smooth on the other. So the smooth side, they printed all over it, so looks like we'll be doing a little sanding on it to get the writing off of it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and run these through. our boards. Most of them come out pretty good. A couple of them are pretty bowed this way, but they're still kind of bowed. I may have to use them as short pieces, you know. These are 8-foot length, so you know, they have to be cut off a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to trim off all of our ends. I'd rather lose an inch off of the length than have a good square edge to work with, because we already used this trim, and some of them have staples in them, so I'm going to cut those staples out and true up both ends. So we'll start with that here on our chop saw, and I'm just going to take the ends that don't have staples. I'm just going to take a saw blade with, and then the ends that have staples I'll take a little more. Oh, guess I better plug up my saw. Now that leaves us with a board that's 3 1/4 inches wide. So these are 3 1/4. And then we're going to have to sand off the writing, get them smoothed up a little bit. Got all of our boards trimmed. They all look pretty good. They're all, some of them got bows this way, but that'll pull into the wall. That'll straighten out. It's the up and down curves that are a little harder to work with. And I just got one that's really bad, and that's this one right here. You can see it's got a major dip in it. I don't know. It ain't so bad. Ain't none of them ain't usable. So now we're going to go on and I'm going to go and get the belt sander, and we're just going to hit them a lick here and take all this writing off. Guys, we've got all of our pieces of furring strip. They are cut flat on both ends, or flat on tops, instead of being rounded over. Both ends have been squared off, and they've been, you know, given a rough sand. They're not perfect. Most of it was just to get the writing off, but I went over each board a little bit and just kind of smoothed it down. So and that's what we ended up with, a 3 1/4 inch board, roughly 8 foot long, white pine, and that is $2. If you buy 30 of them, they're $1.88 at Lowe's. And if this works out, I'll probably go back and buy 30 because it'll be cheaper. Plus it'll take that many to trim my house, you know, by the time I do the baseboard, the corner molds, the you know, around the ceilings. It'll take that many. What I have left, I'll use something. Got workbenches to build, got stuff out in the building to do. So any extra I have. Now you're probably thinking, Rob, why did you just not buy some? That's a lot of work to. Well, first and foremost, most of the baseboards you buy is pretty expensive. And if I had a router table, I could put a molding on that and make it look as good as anything. And a lot of it's pre-painted, it's white, and I don't want white baseboard or corner molding. I want it to match my wood. I don't know if I'll stain this or not. I basically want my house to have one finish in it from floor to ceiling, and that's polyurethane. And these will probably just get polyed over and left as is. If y'all think I should add some color to the baseboard or the corner molds, give me some suggestions. But let's just take a piece inside, lay it up against the wall. We'll kind of see what the effect is we're going for, and see what you think about it. I'm a cheapskate. Well, it's not that I'm a cheapskate, I'm poor. And poor people have poor ways, and sometimes you have to do things, and this is far superior to that MDF stuff you'll buy, that paper covered pressed wood molding that I've used that before, and it's not, I don't like it. I like the real stuff. So anyway, let's take a piece in, lay her down, see what she's going to look like. All right, guys, that's just kind of laying there on the floor, but that is what it will look like when it's done. I'm going to try and start working on my floor here after it's done. I just wanted to get this baseboard cut and ready to go, because I want it to acclimate a few days. I'll put it here in the house and just let it sit here in the house a few days and acclimate, and I think that will make good trim for not only the baseboard, but I'm also going to use it, like I said, I'm also going to use it to trim out my doorways, so it'll look like that. Of course, it'll be mitered up there or square cut, however I decide to do it. I'm not going for perfection, probably square cut, because that's how I done my window frames, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going for rustic cabin look, and that's what I like, and that's what I'm doing. It's a beauty of living by yourself and doing this by yourself. You can do it any way you want it. You can use whatever you want it. The possibilities are unlimited because there's nobody to tell you can't. And and that's why I'm doing it. So, do you think these need some trim or some stain to make them stand out, or do you think they're better like they are? Jump in the comments and let me know. But anyway, guys, this is using cheap Lowe's furrowing strips, 1x4s, by 30. You get them for $1.88 for a 1x4x8. They're I think I paid $2.18 just when I bought 10. So just to try this, and guys, I think it's going to look pretty good. So anyway, I have made this video way too long. I've hyperlapsed some of it, so we'll go through it. I'll put some music over it so you don't have to listen to all going, and try to condense it down so it's not so boring for you guys. Anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and until the next video, I'm going to redo the 605 video, and we're getting ready to do some shooting. I think I've got a place to set up a range, and that hopefully will be happening shortly. I got a family member that's got some acreage, and said I could set up my range on them, and we're going to go up and check that out one day. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. Till next video, we'll see you later.